real, I don't pretend. When the OG spilling knowledge, bet it's best you soak it in. I'm a prophet to them scholars, got them chakras opening. Got them fixing up their octaves, now they truly focused in. I'm seeing 2020 visions. Daily manifesting on my premonitions. Best to keep it neutral, got my own religion. The brainwash, gotta make your own decision. My word is James Bond, I stay on a mission. Coming for the top position, ain't no competition, man. Pull up in the top, it's missing, the opposition, and all that lane switching, this is what the game is. It's the young...
All right, Coach, thank you. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Mass. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Oakland Raiders and the New England Patriots. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Sony Michel, his first carry. And he powers his way up past the 30. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. 2nd and 6. He's got a man complete. Past the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. A.J. Green. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. As his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Gostkowski the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Gostkowski now, after the touchdown, he'll send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. First carry for Josh Jacobs, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. On 2nd down, Jacobs. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Carr going to try and throw on 3rd down. Steps away to his left. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. And it's picked up by the Patriots. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return and a Patriot touchdown. And Charles, look at the big fella. What a rumble that was. Not only to scoop it, but then take it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
And now you know they're going to have to hear about it from now on. The defensive backs, he's going to want to run with them, do their drills, the whole deal. He thinks he's the pace setter now.
It doesn't matter what happens in practice this week. He's smiling. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. To throw again. Carr. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Patrick Chung. And it's a huge return as he brings us all the way back down to the 15-yard line. So more problems here in this first quarter. Already 2 scores down, and here they give away the football.
And if I'm the head coach, I think it's time to start lighting a fire under some of these guys. Now, you have to do it within your personality. They can't perceive it as fake. But I'd go get after some guys because they don't look ready to play to me. They look flat, uninspired. It's time to get moving.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
10 logo.
Let's go, deep, tighten up.
Hey, lock it. Snap.
On 2nd down, it's Grant, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. Corey Grant, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Patriots, they add on to their lead. Extra point good by Gostkowski. And that makes the score 21-0. Gostkowski now, after the touchdown, he'll send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Lawrence Guy able to drop him for a loss of a couple. Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. Shotgun now for Carr. Trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Jason McCourty. And he will score. Touchdown, Patriots. That pick 6 extending this lead even further. And boy, it's been a while since I've seen a team struggle this badly in the first half.
I think all they want to do is get to the locker room, try and regroup, and come out to start the 3rd quarter. But if things don't improve fast then, I think the backups get a lot of play in the second half.
Gostkowski with the extra point. And a rout is on here in this first half. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
Good work, boys. Go. Let's go. 25-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
Now Carr. He'll get this one complete to Zay Jones. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Carr now on first down. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. Second down.
My man's getting a little loose with the football there, right? Interception before, almost had one here. He's got to start taking better care of it.
Yeah, really should have been back-to-back drives with interceptions. He's lucky there. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. He'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So here we go. The offense is going to stay out there. They're going for it on 4th and 8.
Watch the run. Watch the run. Watch the run. Lie down. Switch. 29. Mike, 53.
Carr going to go on 4th down. He's going to find and complete it to Renfro. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. The Raiders try it on 4th down, but to no avail. And the Patriots defense is going to take over on downs. New England with a first down as they begin the drive. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
2nd and 4. Philip Dorsett hauls it in. 14 yards is the pickup there, and a New England first down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
On first down, Grant. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Nice, sweetheart.
Here's 2nd and 8. He finds Dorsett. It's complete.
The second down pass. Complete to Philip Dorsett. That's a gain of 6. Brings up 3rd and 3.
And the Raiders call on a nickel set for 3rd down. From the gun, McMahon. Got his man, that's Harry. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 44-yard line. A pretty sizable deficit here in the first quarter. This defense probably need to get off the field in those situations on 3rd down.
And you and I both know in this huddle before that last 3rd down play, that's exactly what they talked about. Let's make a play. Let's get off the field. Let's reverse the momentum. Instead, they got hit with another first down, almost back to the drawing board.
This quarterback now already over 100 yards passing in just this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Ready up. 50, Mike 50. Here we go, D. All day, defense. Go. All day. Let's go, Mike 50. Mike 50.
To throw on second down. McMahon. Dorsett making the catch. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
Brings up third down and 2.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. Here's Grant. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Start of the second quarter from Foxborough. It's the homestanding Patriots with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
Leo, fight.
They will run with Grant. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. And finally wrestled down at the 8-yard line. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
30 base. I got 2 pump. 6 guys. Check 6 guys. Kill. Let's go.
Trying to pound it in here with Michelle. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. Actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes.
Dorsett's got it. Touchdown, Patriots. Philip Dorsett, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Gostkowski the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half.
Patriots 35, Raiders nothing. Stephen Gostkowski to kick off for New England.
Gostkowski now, after the touchdown, he'll send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
I'm here all day.
On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Jason McCourty. And they'll start. With great field position at the 41-yard line.
The Patriots take over 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
On the double. Mike's 50. All you get is a headache. All you get is a headache.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Grant looking for a seam but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. The tackle made by Nicholas Morrow.
2nd and 10 at the 40-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. 25, check 25. Check.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Michelle. And dropped at the 35, but able to display some strength on the run. He's able to rattle off 6 on the carry, and that'll get him to 3rd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Ready? 70, Indy. Number 53, Mike 53. I'm coming. Hey, Sam on.
On 3rd down, Grant. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Let's go. Take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Here we go on 2nd and 12. He's going to wind up and air it out. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Kyle Van Noy. There he goes left side. And he will score. Touchdown, Patriots. This game really becoming a one-sided affair. Pick 6 there. It's in danger of being over before halftime.
And that's going to be a major league test for both of these teams because, look, you feel like you've got this thing locked up, right? But on the other side, in the other locker room, it's going to be a test of pride now. Forget speeches, forget adjustments. What kind of pride do they have to start the second half?
This fielded at the 2. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line.
1st and 10 at their own 32-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Ledford. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. Well, stating the obvious, this is going to be one that the rookie quarterback is going to want to forget pretty quickly.
And what quarterback has not gone through this in their rookie year?
Yeah, they all have. I guess it's cliche, but these are the ones you hope to grow from, right?
It's just part of life on the road in the NFL. He has to learn from it and grow.
They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
On 2nd down, Michelle. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. This will be a loss of 3 and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. New England on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. From the gun, McMahon. That's caught by his tight end, Matt Lacoste. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a 1st down.
12 yards on the return that time. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Kyle Van Noy. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. On 2nd down now, it's Grant. And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
It's 3rd and 10.
The Raiders call on a nickel set here for 3rd down.
It's our time, guys. It's our time. Hey, Alpha. Hey, 50. Lee Griffin.
Operating from the gun, McMahon. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked by Darryl Worley. Past the 10 to the 11-yard line, and that's where the return stops. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. And they will run it with Michel. And he is in. Touchdown, New England. Sony Michel, his 2nd touchdown on the season as his guys continue to pour it on. Well, he had the big run to get down there, so you got to let him finish it off, don't you?
I think so, but what I liked even more, the fact that he wanted to finish it off. How many times have we seen a guy break off a big run, and we see that universal sign where he's tapping his helmet to get me out of the game? No! Stay out on the field and enjoy the benefits of the success you created.
And he hits pay dirt because of it.
At their own 32-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Terrence Brooks with a pick. And he will score. Touchdown, Patriots. Oh, this is becoming tough to watch. I don't know that I've seen 3 pick sixes from the same quarterback in the same game.
And I know that many are going to scream at the coach about why did you let him stay out there to throw those. But truthfully, what are the odds that you're going to throw 3 pick sixes in a game? You want to leave them out there so they can work through some of the rough stuff.
This fielded at the 2. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Here we go. 29-yard line.
Ready, set.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And in a spot like this, still more than a minute, I think if you put something on the board before halftime, that would go a long way towards helping them get back into the game.
There actually is something to the psychology of the game at times, isn't there? how much better would they feel running into the locker room, as you noted, with something on the board in a positive fashion? You're exactly right. It's a great opportunity to get that done.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
You got time right there. Mike's 56. Mike's 56. Tighten up, tighten up.
Shoot. From the gun, Ledford. The open man here, Renfro. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. This quarterback now just 2 out of 6 since coming on, but he's got a 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Ledford dancing to his left. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. 2nd and 1. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness. They tried the throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Try to run for it with Jacobs. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the 1st. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half.
Here we go, here we go. HE Gator. Number 53, Mike 53. I got it. Snap.
On 1st down, Ledford. Throw left side complete. That's Jacobs. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. So we are at halftime here on a Monday night as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This one fielded at the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Let's go.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now, so as you...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. John Simon able to record his 5th sack of the season.
And that's his 2nd sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. John Simon in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Take 4, take 4. What? Squeeze. Yes. 53 to Mike, 53. Hey, echo. Here we go. Big River.
From the gun, Ledford. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Geno Atkins has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Here's A.J. Cole now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. On the return, it's White. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the Patriots will have great starting position as they take over 1st and 10.
Come on, set. 10 Lobo. Check. Watch 54. Protein spill. Ready.
They'll try to get this offense going with Michelle. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
On second down, it's Grant, and this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down. And the line to gain here is the 37 on third down. They go back to Grant. And he will get him down a couple yards shy of the first down marker. A nice tackle coming up from his free safety spot. A good pickup there, 7 yards, but it brings up fourth down. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
And a nice gain of 21 yards. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Back to throw. Ledford. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there, the defense won the battle. They will run the draw with Jacobs. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one, and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
90, Wolf. Number 53. Hey, Orbit. We got to get the ball. Go.
To throw on third down, Ledford. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. But you just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Still just the third quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on fourth. Looking to throw. Ledford. He's got a man open. It's Hunter Renfrow. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That pickup goes for 25. What a flip of the script from fourth down to first. So into Pat's territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 34. Operating from the gun, Ledford. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. John Simon, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle.
Hey, high 7. 53, check 53.
Second and 13. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. From the gun, Ledford. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And my goodness, another interception. Terrence Brooks with a pick. 3rd and long that time. He was trying to make something happen, but a little too risky.
Well, the field tilted on him, and what I mean by that is what you said, 3rd and long. Got to push it downfield to try and pick up the first down. Defensive backs live for this situation, and they took advantage of the young man right there.
On first down, Grant. $34 yards there and a first down.
Okay, every now and then, my defensive bias will leak out here. Abysmal play for them. You've got them backed up, and you let them out.
Couldn't take advantage. And you know who's happy? The punter. Because if he was needed, they gave him a lot of space to work with now.
Yeah, because he would have had a lot to think about, right? Don't step over the back line and give him a safety. Now he's got room if he needed it.
Jonah, 18 Gator. Check, 53's mine. Strip the ball. Strip that ball. Get it.
On second down now. It's Grant. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Recon, 132 fighter. Dudes. Shift. Check. Lucky.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Michelle. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. They're able to convert with a gain of 4. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Back now in Foxborough. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Now the ball comes loose. And the Raiders pick it up. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time.
Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. John Simon make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Here's a quick hitch route, and the throw complete. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. The Raiders on third down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
Hey, Haywood. Let's go. Hey, let's go.
Operating from the gun, Ledford. Renfro bringing it in over the middle. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. The 21 yards there as they convert on third.
Let's go. 18 Gator. Mike. Hey, watch the screen.
Off play action. Ledford. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Lawrence Guy. He's the culprit, dropping him for a 2-yard loss. Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. Here's Jacobs from the gun. 9 good yards here on the run, and now 3rd down.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Jacobs. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. On 4th down, Ledford. And this is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And this defense is going to get the football back near midfield, right at the 48. The Pats at the line, ready to go. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When you go to the backup, let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
First and 10 at the 21-yard line.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for first and 10. On the ground, Michelle. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. This gain not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. The 3 red zone trips, 3 touchdowns so far. They'll look for a 4th on 2nd and goal. On the ground, this is Michelle, and he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. This is Grant. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. New England on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and goal. So the Patriots with the football as we get you reset. They've got it 3rd and goal here as they try to finish off their victory.
Kill. 61, matchbox, lights. Slam. Watch twin. Rock it. Now.
They'll keep it on the ground. Grant. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. It's a decent gain on the ground. Call it 6, but it still leaves him with a ways to go on 4th and goal.
Brings up 4th down and goal.
And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And in this league, you can never have enough points.
End zone for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Throwing on 1st down. Ledford. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, there's a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. Deep ball, short ball. That was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football.
And that's caught inside the 35. A big play that time for the Raiders. 41 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page. quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
And now he'll tuck it and run. He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for third down. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game.
Here we go, set, 50, plant. Here we go, here we go. Get it.
On 3rd and 2, Ledford. And that will be incomplete. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk, both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going?
And now here is another interception. Picked off by Patrick Chung. He's at the 50, 30, the 20, 10, and he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Patriot defense has a touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They are down big. They have not scored a single point. I don't know, are they so defeated at this point you just want to get in the locker room and get the heck out of here?
That is one way to approach it. Sometimes coaches say, that's it, okay? It hasn't worked all game. There's no sense in doing something now. Let's get out of here. No one gets hurt. But others will look at it and say, we still have an opportunity to do something.
On the line.
Exactly. You have pride on the line, execution as you look forward and get ready for your next game, and a message to your team. We're not going to quit. No matter what the battle is, we're going to finish this thing out.
We play to win.
So this will wind up a victory for the New England Patriots. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for the Pats, it took a while, but they finally get that first win after 4 straight losses. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Buffalo Bills. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, they'll fall to 1-4 with a loss. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in New Orleans against the Saints. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready? Getting ready now. This be the green light, go. Tires burn the pavement. People want to know where Mace, Poss, and Dave went. Still here, still in the spot.
And you know we got breath control, so no need to take a breather.
Cardio kingpin.
Subjugate the dub play.
And you know we can't wait to bring spins.
A-star quizzes, A+ the final.
Vocals we align, we'll move it all
Simultaneously over joints we rock.
We earn
30 years so you can say we got
3 turns.
Live off the board, unlike you and your chess men.
We install doubt in you and your yes men.
And if the game had veins, we'll insert
Upheaval the ground.
Cause the adrenaline we blend with the sound is our thing. We're leaving the kings of all crowns. Are you ready? Are you set? Then jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go.
Keep it steady, to the letter, right? Turn it up, y'all keep the flow.
But can you rock it like rocket fuel?
What you talking about? Space out your mind.
But can you rock it like rockets,
That's
fool?
a close encounter of what kind?
Then jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go.
Turn it up, y'all keep the flow.
Are you ready? Set? Jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go.
Keep it steady, to the letter, right? Turn it up, we giving the show.
But can you rock it like rocket
What you
fuel?
talking about? Space out your mind.
But can you rock it like rockets,
That's a
fool?
close encounter of what kind?
But can you rock it like rocket fuel?